Climbing high altitude mountains is a challenging task that only the most competent are able to complete. I want to find out what it takes to climb high altitude mountains and explore methods to train for high altitude mountaineering.
Hello, Katie speaking.
Hi Katie, this is Rowan.
So the effects of altitude, in fact, actually kick in probably around 3,500, 4,000 metres. There were certainly days where it would be, okay, I've got to do 20 paces and I can rest for a count of 10. 20 paces and I can rest for a count of 10. So it's been cycling, running, swimming, for cardio.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good, and gym work.
I also emailed Andrew Locke, who is recognised as Australia's most accomplished high altitude climber, climbing 18 8,000 metre peaks. Andrew Locke gave me some great advice for training fitness for high altitude mountaineering. So, to imitate climbing from Camp 4 to the top of Mount Everest, which is about 848 metres, just from Camp 4 to the top, I'm going to climb Brown Hill, which is only 167 metres from base to top, several times. I'll be carrying more than someone would be carrying if they were climbing Camp 4 to the top of Everest, because down here, altitude is not a problem at all. You're not affected by how much air you can breathe and how much air your lungs can process. Whereas up in 8,000 metres, the oxygen doesn't dissolve in your blood anywhere near as well, and you end up finding it's like 5-6 times as hard to do something that you would do down here. On the scales, 95 kilograms, and I'm 72. That's quite a heavy pack. So that over there is Brown Hill. Over here we have Brown Hill. At high altitudes, your blood can't contain as much oxygen, so your fitness is really reduced, and it's important to get the most cardiovascular fitness you can. So training beforehand, like climbing hills like this one up here, is really important. That's why I'm going to be climbing up Brown Hill several times with a heavy pack. Let's get started. Andrew Locke said hill climbing was the best practice for training your mountaineering fitness. I must say, with a 21 kilogram pack, it's really taking a lot out of me as a seafood. Now that I had a benchmark for my fitness, I needed to begin training. I decided it would be best to follow Andrew Locke's advice and do the training he did, as he is the most successful high altitude mountaineer in Australia. This involves cycling, running, hill climbing and outdoor rock climbing, as well as core work for balance, which I do at parkour training and on my own.
Parkour develops your leg strength very well because it combines what's called plyometric movements, which are explosive rebounding movements, with also endurance and long-term strength training. Plyometric stuff is one of the best and quickest ways to get strong.
Evidently, high altitude mountaineering requires a great amount of cardiovascular fitness. That's why up here in the Bogong High Plains of Australia, I've been skiing, cross-country skiing for a week and hiking through the snow to build on my cardiovascular fitness, and also to get experience with the cold and the weather that I might get up in the mountains. Here are some of the knots that are really important for mountaineering. You can see here the figure 8, the double fisherman's bend, and the clove hitch. Specific knots can allow you to attach yourself to a support to save you from a fall, or you can create a pulley system to pull someone out of a crevasse, or lower someone safely down a difficult section of a climb. Rope work is very important for mountaineering, and it can save your life. The first knot is a double fisherman's bend. This is the strongest way of tying 2 ropes together, or the ends of one rope together. There we have it. The double fisherman's bend is used for making prusik loops, which are an important part of rope work when rock climbing or mountaineering.
I'm climbing guide with Saria, and teach climbing to scouts and school-age kids.
Being from the UK, I've done quite a bit of mountaineering.
Okay, so they're real close. So if you watch me do it in real time, you might need to slow this down. Take and lock off, crossover slide. So if I was ice climbing, I would take this setup. I might actually, that's another good thing about wire gates. They don't freeze as easily as solid gates do.
Some important mountaineering knots, figure 8.
Right?
Yep.
Because what you don't want to do is tie it and then have the rope pulling like this. So if you have a look at that,
Yep.
see how it kind of distorts
Yep.
over time? It just, and then it kind of look not.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually don't bother. Cool. Alpine butterfly.
Is that one when you pull it on the side like that?
Yeah. And that's all solid. Yeah, definitely a fundamental knot.
And also walking up a slope. Don't try and walk straight up it. It's gonna just be really hard work. A good first aid kit, a good comprehensive first aid kit, and also the knowledge of how to use a good first aid kit. That's my first aid kit, and it's about being able to be ready for any kind of eventuality. I've got in this a space blanket, things like water purification tablets. So you need a good geodesic tent that's really strong.
Okay.
And 2, a good sleeping bag. If you have a cold night's sleep, it's not good. At the end of the day, it's a great sport to be doing, but it's also very dangerous. And you need to get some sort of training, some sort of knowledge before you actually go ahead and do them.
Altitude can cause some major health problems, so it's important to understand how to fix them or how to prevent them. In this book it outlines different types of sicknesses you can get at high altitudes. Crampons are an essential piece of equipment for high altitude mountaineering, and it's a fundamental skill to learn for climbing. This book outlines different types of cramponing techniques and where to use them. The front point technique is used for climbing straight up steep walls of ice. The idea is you kick these 2 points straight into the face and step in using the whole crampon as like a sort of step. Peter Willis said, when camping at high altitudes, it's really important to have A, good equipment, and B, to know how to use the equipment properly and effectively. When you're camping at high altitudes, the cold weather makes it really hard to do normal everyday tasks, so you've got to be efficient and well practiced. In my own backyard, I'm going to attempt to replicate what it might be like camping at high altitudes. In the weather at high altitudes, I need to set my tent up as quickly as possible to get out of the freezing winds. Wearing thick gloves definitely makes things a lot harder. Now that I've set up camp, I need to start cooking some food for dinner. I've brought along some super lightweight food that I would eat at mountaineering. Believe it or not, this will make one whole dinner full of carbs and energy. Eating high-fat foods and high-carb foods is a great way to keep your energy up while climbing at high altitudes. In conclusion, to climb high altitude mountains you need to have excellent cardiovascular endurance, which you can train best by running and hiking with a pack. You need to have a good knowledge of how to acclimatise to altitude and how to recognise the illnesses that it causes and how to prevent them or cure them. This is absolutely vital. You can practice this by researching on the internet, talking to doctors, or reading through health books, which I've done. You need to know how to attach climbing ropes and use rope equipment. This can be practiced by rock climbing and attaching climbing equipment when you're rock climbing outdoors instead of in the gym. It is very important to understand how to set up tents quickly and effectively and to cook nutritious meals that are suited to the stress on your body that you get at high altitude. Having trail camps is an excellent way to practice these. An understanding of climbing techniques is essential for mountaineering. In Australia, the only way to learn this is in theory or by using crampons and climbing trees. It's very important to look at the theory before you get into the mountains so that you have a good understanding of where you're going to go.
I got an elastic